More than 40 people showed up here to give their public comment against the sale of the Skate World property to Pacifica companies. The group is called City Heights Youth for Change, and it's made up mostly of first-generation African refugee students. Good evening. It's Tuesday, June 18th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Priya Sridhar. The trial begins for a Navy SEAL accused of murdering an ISIS prisoner while on deployment in Iraq, among multiple other war crimes. KPBS reporter Steve Walsh is live from Naval Base San Diego with details on the opening arguments. I think another thing that's going to be interesting to watch is we recently heard President Trump saying that anyone who illegally crosses will not be able to ask for asylum, whereas before we had people who during their deportation process could claim for defensive asylum. Maya, that city-funded storage facility would be located right here. It's an area on 54th and Leah Streets, just outside of City Heights. And that's what a designation would give an area. Official state certification, branding materials, and $5,000 a year for a period of 5 years. The California Arts Council says it wants districts to play a conscious role in tackling the issue of artist displacement. There's a common thread between this week's shooting at a synagogue in Poway and the disrupted terror plot in Long Beach. Authorities say the accused used the internet to connect with like-minded extremists. Now there's going to be a hearing on the situation at Superior Court in downtown San Diego tomorrow morning at 8:30. Reporting from Julian, Priya Sridhar, KPBS News. Transportation officials spent $44 million on a San Diego rapid bus route that's slower than the one it replaced. President Trump continues to demand a wall to stop immigrants and drugs from entering the U.S. Last night, we looked at how Mexico's record violence is tied to U.S. guns pouring south into Mexico. They're also here to protect the troops. So if tensions escalate and there are protests which do get violent, then yes, there will be pushback from the military police. So the border and music and art isn't just a podcast for you, it's actually your life. Yeah, Ebony, I'm at Julian Fire Station number 56 where the volunteers are still inside. As you can see behind me here, there's an emergency vehicle that's blocking the roll-up doors where the engines enter and exit the station. There are military police that are here, and that's been somewhat controversial because people want to know if the military is somehow trying to enforce immigration law. And from June gloom to sunny skies, the weather seems to be cooperating as we enter the summer season. Meteorologist Chris Nallen tells us what we can expect for the rest of the week. Co-working. It's a relatively new concept that's becoming more popular around the world, including here in San Diego. Recently, I got an opportunity to explore a shared office space in City Heights. Take a look. They were certainly celebrating after that unanimous vote. Reporting from City Hall, Priya Sridhar, KPBS News. The mayor's office will be holding a town hall for people in this area to express their concerns about this proposed facility on July 11th. And you can find more details about that town hall on our website, kpbs.org. Priya Sridhar, KPBS News. I'm here at the San Diego Humane Society, and I'm joined by Captain Danny Cook. She's a humane law enforcement officer with the Humane Society. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
So tell me about these sweeps. What did you actually find at the pet stores that you went to? It's part of a new effort to identify cases of profiling. Last night, KPBS reporter Taryn Mento told us where San Diego police are getting the money for this work. Tonight, she looks at what they're learning. We haven't heard a great deal about the troops on the border. They've mostly stayed behind the scenes, but recently KPBS military reporter Steve Walsh got a chance to visit El Paso and see what the Army leaders who are running the operations from Texas to California are doing there. Steve, that's quite an opportunity. People might say, hey, I can go online and buy a puppy or a cat from anywhere in the United States or even travel to a neighboring county that doesn't have these similar laws. Do you think this law is going to make a difference? This is one of 5 parks in San Diego that has a city-imposed curfew. City Council voted unanimously to impose the curfew back in March, and it went into effect in May. Now the gates here at the City Heights Mini Park close at 9 p.m. and they don't reopen until 5 a.m. every day. Residents of an affordable housing complex for seniors gathered in the City Heights Mini Park today to celebrate the unveiling of the newly cleaned up park and the month anniversary of a city-imposed curfew.
Oh, it was terrible before. Bad drug use, people having sex out in the open in front of everybody. drug deals, fights. Now, quiet as it can be. They got a curfew here now, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Residents of the complex complained to community leaders about illegal activity in the park at night. They say the park was full of graffiti, litter, drug and gang activity, and prostitution. Their efforts led to a curfew at the park. City officials say the curfew has helped police stop people from loitering in the park at night.
Police is here. It's just that sometimes you can't just run people out of a park if they're just sitting in a park, you know. So it helps the police department do their enforcement by having a curfew, and now they can come on and say, hey, park is closed, you know, move on.
Karen Murphy, another neighbor, says she now feels safe to hang out at the park with her friends.
We don't have gang members hanging out here claiming it's their territory anymore, and nobody's abusing us, throwing things at us or, you know, degrading us. And it's a breath of fresh air for us. We come out here and we read our books and have chats and talk and socialize, and it's just what we need as seniors.
Now, the city plans to hold activities in this park during the summer months like yoga, low-impact aerobics, crafts, and bingo. Reporting from City Heights, Priya Sridhar, KPBS News.